hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too, little bunny. I think I'm having a great week. Funny how some weeks can be down, then the next week can be up. Next week can be medium, the next week can be way down. And then the next week can be way up. It is how life works, little bunny. And it's the magic of time, isn't it? That's one of the themes of tonight's episode, little bunny. If you are dealing with rejection, have you been rejected, little bunny, ever in your life? Or even fear of rejection. But let's say if you're dealing with some rejection right now of some kind. You know what the secret is. It's so simple. Maybe it's not that useful. But time, little bunny. Oftentimes all that is needed to get over something is just letting time pass. As soon as you can let go and say, you know what? I'm going to leave this right here. I feel this right now. It exists right now. But I'm going to set it down here on this day. And it'll stay here. And I'll get some sleep, and tomorrow will be a new day. And that rejection or bad thing that I've been holding on to, that lives in yesterday. Sorry for these cable sounds. Hold on, little bunny. This freaking cable's getting in the way of my little bunny time. Unacceptable. Unacceptable behavior from this technology. Okay. And then another day passes. And that bad thing that you've been holding on to. Sometimes it's just negative emotion of any kind that's related to a bad exchange you had with someone. Or some luck that went way against you. You can just set it down. If you have it with you right now, with me, just set it down. Once you can do that, all you have to do is let time pass. And the rejection or the bad thing that happened with someone, it'll all just slowly drift off into the distance. That's step one. The second step, little bunny, is that you can finally wake up to all the incredible other opportunities you have. Oh my God. I'm burning through the content so quick, little bunny. Okay, well, I'll just keep going. I'm supposed to let this last for a whole 40 minutes or something. Oh my God. All right, we're just going to go through it. High density wisdoms. You ready for high density wisdoms? Okay. The next is that if you can, let's say it's a relationship rejection, whether you got broken up with or maybe you've had a crush on someone and you shot your shot finally and it just imploded or whatever it is. Okay? Whatever this point of obsession has been, whether you were deeply invested in a relationship or something that you wanted to happen isn't going to work out. Okay? As soon as you can say, today I'm setting this down. And tomorrow, you suddenly have so much of your heart ready to assign to someone else, right? Can be quite a gift to suddenly have more of your heart that you can, what person or multiple people if you're super, super adventurous and modern. How can I give my love? How can I share my heart with other people? And you may find that the best possible person for you has been nearby. You might not know who this person is until you go out there and you go to the event. You go join the running club or whatever that is for you if you're like me and you don't like to run. And boom, here's this person who you completely overlooked. Oh my God, you want to know a true story? Well, I can't tell you too much of the specifics, but why not? Okay, so I was in an orchestra once upon a time. And I had the biggest crush on this woman who was a cellist. I had the biggest crush, and it's the kind of thing where, like, in rehearsal, you like keep sneaking glances over, and it's not because you're trying to creep on anyone. It's just your eyes just naturally go to what is pleasing to look at, right? And I spent the whole, I don't know if it was a semester or a year. I think it was just one semester for this orchestra. It was in some school days. I was like making moves on this cellist, and we were like hanging out a bit and things like that, but it didn't fully connect, It didn't fully connect. So the semester ends, and then, would you know, fast forward maybe 2 years or so, I happened to, by chance, get in a conversation with a different cellist who had been in that orchestra in the same section, and I had never noticed her. I had literally never noticed her. And that summer rocked my world, little bunny. And she was so much better than the original woman that I had a crush on in the cello section. Wild how that can happen. There's a somewhat cliche wisdom, but it's so true and such a good one. When one door closes, another one opens. What's funny is that the other door that opens, maybe it was always there. And all it took was the closing of that first door that was taking up all your heart and your attention. And it really was better placed somewhere else. So maybe you're dealing with maybe in some way, I'll keep it a bit more open-ended. Maybe you feel like your heart has had a door closed on it in some way. It doesn't just have to be love, romantic love. It could be some dream that you had that maybe it'll never happen at this point. Maybe there was some point of no return, some audition that you didn't get that you can't take again or something. There's very few times when a door truly, truly closes on a dream. But if your heart feels like it got a door slammed in its face, that could be a wonderful thing. Even if it doesn't feel like it right now, you may say, Daddy, this does not feel wonderful. What the hell are you talking about? Give us some time. Set it down. Let it stay in today. Tomorrow, it'll be in yesterday. Each new day, move forward and forward. Find someone or some dream that is so much more deserving of your heart. And so much more good for your heart and so much more fun. Oh my God. If you're dealing with some sense that you've missed out on something. Oh man, little bunny. The thing you're missing out on. could be right there waiting for you to capture it. All right, that's enough. Like me telling you, what do you call it? Wisdoms, daddy wisdoms, or self-development type stuff. I don't know. No, let's just hang out for the rest of the time. Sound good, little bunny? I got some tea with me. I got some throat coat tea. It's been a while since I made tea. There's the pour. I'm using some coasters that I got in Kyoto. Yeah. Okay, let's sip this. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I did wait maybe a little bit too long to pour this. I made it a little while ago. It's still warm. Still warm. Still good. It's kind of sweet. Very nice. Very nice. Tingly. I looked at the ingredients, by the way, of throat coat. It's primarily licorice. It's actually a licorice tea. I've only had licorice in the fake candy variety. Licorice is one of these super unpopular flavors. There used to be licorice everywhere. Oh my God, there was always licorice jelly beans in those. You get like a handful of jelly beans and they're all the different colors and the different flavors. There was always a licorice one. I don't know if that's still the case. I guess I haven't had jelly beans in quite a while. What happened to licorice? Wow. Well, I've got some tea now, some licorice tea. Should we call it throat coat or licorice tea? Licorice tea sounds like I have a lisp. Licorice tea. Like, it sounds like it should be licorice tea. Some licorice tea, but I'm just saying licorice tea. Licorice tea. Licorice tea. Maybe we'll call it licorice tea. Licorice tea. Licorice tea, okay. Throat coat or licorice tea. I love... God, if I could invent a language, little bunny, I would do it all based on how fun things are to say. Licorice is actually a fun word. You want to try that with me? Licorice. I think there was actually in one of the mocked audios on Patreon, there was a bedtime story. I used to improvise bedtime stories live on Discord and record them. I might do it again someday. I'm not opposed to it. It was Lazarus, I think it was, the lizard snake. Lazarus, the lizard snake. Lazarus. I don't know. Lazarus tea. Maybe this will be Lazarus tea. Lazarus, the lizard snake. Creates this tea. Okay. Actually, in that bedtime story, he ran like a factory of Monster energy drink. Random shit you come up with. Oh, this past week's locked audio. If you like using the podcast to fall asleep, the locked audio from this past week is specifically for falling asleep. And it is an improvised bedtime story. I got a random word generator, which I vibe coded. And I just, one word at a time, improvise you a really calm bedtime story. Nice. Calm bedtime story. Designed to help you fall asleep. So that's all I got for you. What do we talk about now, little bunny? I have a candle here. Oh man, this poor candle. The wick is just not correctly chosen. It's so hard to get this candle alight. But I did not give up, little bunny. I power through for you and I make sure the candle gets lit. for our ambiance of our daddy and little bunny time. Okay, sorry, I'm moving around. Let me just reposition myself. Oh, I'm looking at this big bookshelf built into the wall that we have here in the garden library. And it's not really full of stuff yet. I mean, I've got it's kind of like storage right now, honestly, for random stuff. But how fun would it be? Imagine a bookshelf built into the wall for us to have all kinds of stuff that you and I make together in the garden. I really should get some kind of address where you can send me stuff. Oh, wow, fireworks are going off. I don't know if you heard that. It's the 4th of July, which is the day the United States of America Declaration of Independence was signed. So funny how probably the reason they chose the 4th of July, because it's like, the day that could kind of get everyone together. They're like, see, I'm free on Tuesday. Like, Thomas, can't do Tuesday? Can everybody do Wednesday? Can we do Wednesday? Okay, let's do Wednesday. That's the July 1, 2, 3, 4. So July 4th, let's meet up here as long as everyone can make it. We'll sign it. And then it becomes so permanent. Man, that's a really interesting podcast episode that I should do, that I should write down, which is how things that you can do now, little bunny, they have greater and greater and greater effects in the future. It's crazy. If you're a bunny who has wanted to make, quote unquote, with sparkling letters, an impact on the world, there's a very, very easy way to do it, honestly, which is that the further forward in time you're willing to let the impact be, the smaller the thing you have to do is. Does that make sense? So if you can set up something that will withstand the test of time and will perhaps grow on its own as things go on, then long term you can make a huge impact by just being one person doing a small, humble amount of stuff to begin with. The garden may turn out to be like that. Who knows? It's already really special, isn't it, little bunny? And if we just keep growing things, growing, who knows? This could be huge, little bunny. We don't know the future. But I love dreaming about it. My future is tightly intertwined with yours, little bunny. Tightly intertwined with yours. And you have a permanent spot. Speaking of rejection, you want to know where you're not going to find any rejection? It's right here, little bunny, in the garden, with me and your fellow bunnies. You are welcome here. And I will never, ever, ever remove you from the garden unless you really try. Basically, you can say anything mean to me is fine. If you say bad stuff about your fellow bunnies, then you're in big trouble. Although I don't want you to say mean things about me, but I'm tough. But I'm very protective around your fellow bunnies. All the bunnies in the garden are the most worthwhile people of protecting in the whole world. So you, little bunny, you are worthy of being protected by the greatest protector there is. Yeah, look at me trying to tell you about rejection. I've never faced rejection in the world, little bunny. I've never been rejected ever for anything. It's like, I've been through plenty of rejection. Honestly, the more you get rejected, actually, the more success you're going to have. Because it means you're just going for it. You're just rolling the dice. I guess this episode is less about encouraging you to roll the dice and more of just reassuring you that if you've been knocked down, just set it down, let it live in today, and let time pass. But really, if you want success, you gotta keep rolling those dice, little bunny, and the more rejection you get, that's just on the road to great success. Oh, shit. Yeah, success rates for so many great things are very low. And some people, many people, most people take that as a reason to not try. It's like, oh, the success rate of that ambition, of that activity, of that goal is so low that it makes the most sense to not try. That's so wrong. Oh my God, that's so wrong, little bunny. So wrong on multiple levels. But relevantly to right now, it's a sign that you should try a lot. Because to succeed in it, even if the chances are low, you just have to roll the dice a bunch of times. You know? But that's a separate episode, I guess. Well, little bunny, what else can I tell you? What kind of stuff do you want to put on this shelf with me, this garden library? You know, books are not as aesthetic as you might think. And by the way, this is coming from someone who grew up in a house with walls upon walls upon walls of books. My parents own more than 1,000 books for sure. It's a bit of a lie when you see someone who has a big ass shelf of books. Because if you think about how many of those books have they actually read? When someone has a big, huge wall of books, they're trying to suggest that they've read them all, right? It's not true. It's actually more like it's like a collector's item, you know? They may as well be blank books. It's just collectibles to put on a shelf. And then you can do this calculation, little bunny. You can do this calculation. Let's do it right now. You don't have to wonder about things like this. Okay. Someone who reads a lot, like 30 pages a day, I think is a pretty avid reader, right? I mean, maybe you read more, little bunny. I know you have some fellow bunnies who burn through books. Oh my God. I've seen some impressive things said in the Discord by your fellow bunnies. But let's say a typical avid reader, 30 pages a day. Okay. Let's do this in length. So a 300-page book is how wide. I'm going to use imperial. It's like 300 pages is about 1 inch, right? 1 inch is about 2.5 centimeters. Okay. So if you read 30 pages a day, which means if you skip a day, you have to read 60 pages the next day. So this is on average. 30 pages per day. In how many days? 10 days. You don't have to do the math, little bunny. Just zone out. I'm enjoying the math. Let me have my thing. Okay. You just zone out. 10 days. You read an inch. So your shelf is filling up at 1 inch per 10 days. Okay. Let's convert this to years. So, how many 10 days are in a year? It'd be 36.5, right? 36.5, 10 days in a year. Okay. So you travel 1 inch in 10 days. Then we have 36 of those. So you travel 36 and a half inches per year, which is 3 feet, right? 12, 24, 36. Okay. So 1 meter, little bunny. You're looking at 1 meter of full shelf space per year. Okay. And so like a meter is about the width of a bookshelf. Okay. So it would take you a year to get through just one single shelf of, not a whole bookshelf, but just like one of the shelves of the bookshelf. So if there's 8 shelves or 6 shelves, let's say, of your bookshelf, that's 6 years of books, right? So how many, let's take the age of some person. Let's say this person is 50 years old, and let's say they became an avid reader at 20. So in 30 years, I'm so sorry for this math, little bunny, but I'm really enjoying myself, so I'm going to do this. What did we say? It was 6 years per bookshelf. So how many units of 6 get you to 30? There's 5. So in 30 years, you can fit 5 bookshelves. Okay, 30 years of reading 30 pages a day will fill 5 bookshelves. And that's like one wall of a house or apartment. My parents are shams, charlatans. They'll say that they've read parts of books, which means it's a collectible. Anyway, little bunny. My parents are great. Oh man, it's so funny. I just got back from celebrating a friend's book release party. Look at your daddy. He's so seemingly well read. He's got all kinds of friends and family who are super into books. I'll give you a little hint, little bunny. Both my parents have also published books. And I guess I've kind of published a book. I have my audiobook on Patreon. It only comes out to about 200 pages if you were to have it in text. It's about 10 hours long, I think. It's pretty good. I mean, it's self-published, so... sorry, that's not evidence that it's good. That's evidence just that it's done. So I can't claim to be brush off my shoulders being a published author by someone else, but yeah, I don't know if I can call myself an author or not. What about you, little bunny? Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever failed to write a book? Have you ever tried and failed to write a book? It's okay, little bunny. It's okay. I could tell you the secret, but then we'd be like triple dipping in topics for the podcast episode. Triple dip. Triple dip. You want to triple dip? I'll tell you how to write a book. The goal is not to write a book. The goal is to write a chapter. There you go. Get to it. Don't go write a book, little bunny. Go write a chapter. And a good way to start is, if you're doing fiction, short stories. And then you'll have 15 short stories. And you can bundle those together as a book. And then at that rate, you say, wow, I can write enough for a book. I might as well write 15 short stories using the same characters that happen chronologically. And instead of calling them short stories, I'll call them chapters. And would you believe it, little bunny? There you go. You have your second book. It's totally doable. You are completely capable. I have 100% confidence in your ability to write a book. Let's quadruple dip. What other podcast topics can we talk about? How do we quadruple dip? I love you so much, little bunny. I love you. Now it's kind of a topic of every episode, though. Did I tell you I love you enough in this episode? I haven't told you that I love you enough in this episode, and I regret it. One of the worst regrets is, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tell people you love them. Tell people you love them. Don't wait until it's too late for whatever reason that I wish I had said I love you. Okay. Go say I love you to everyone that you love right now. Starting with me. 3, 2, 1. Say you love me. All right. I love you too, little bunny. Yeah, it's great to really compliment and acknowledge and just praise people who you admire to their face. I'm not about this praising people behind their back thing. I definitely am not about talking bad about people behind their back. Greatly despise that. But somehow we also admire people behind their back, yet not to their face. That's a real shame. If you feel that tendency, maybe let go of that. Maybe text someone you admire, someone you appreciate. Say, hey, you are awesome, and I admire you. You really make someone's day. You really will. And you might think that people who are just really good at things are constantly given praise and adoration. It might not be happening as much as you would think. So it's always, always good when you admire someone, when you appreciate someone. Don't admire and appreciate them behind their back. Admire and appreciate them to their face. All right, and we're going to quintuple dip. Going to quintuple dip, little bunny. What are we going to talk about next? This is ridiculous. Oh, little bunny, if you have requests, episode requests, you can email them, lindy@lindysgarden.com, okay? Or daddy@lindysgarden.com, whichever you prefer. You can actually, in the link tree, you can actually type in a message there and it just goes to my email, so you can do that too. It says business inquiries only. But I think if you're this deep in the podcast episode, then you get permission. Get permission to use that little box and send me stuff. I generally do not reply to emails, but I do read everything. And if you ever send me something with warmth, I receive it. I got you, little bunny. I promise. You send me something with all your love, I promise it has been read by me and has given me a smile. I also do get a notification for every new patron. Pings right to my lock screen. So, if you, little bunny, are a key holder bunny, you have the keys to the Patreon, which is for ages 18 to 800 only. So don't join if you're not between those ages. You've given me a little ping to my phone and it has made me smile. So thank you. But you do not need to join Patreon to give me a ping. You can do that because you want to get the delicious special stuff of the locked audios. And you might want to hang out with your fellow bunnies on Discord, which is a great place to make friends. If you are on Patreon and you say, Daddy, what is Discord? I don't know what that means. If you look in the collections, there is something that says like how to get set up on Discord, and it'll explain it. There's an audio where I walk you through how to set it up, and I explain what it is. And I highly recommend it. Great place to just have an easy community of excellent people. Really, really wonderful. It's a self-selection of amazing people. I love it. I love it so much. In fact, I should do a Discord hangout tomorrow. Sometimes I haven't done like a improvised bedtime story in a while, but I will again. But I like to jump in and do like text hangouts, and ask you fun questions. Oh, what else do I have for you tonight, little bunny? You can listen to every podcast episode for free on Patreon, by the way. And there's no ads there. So if you are listening to ads, like if your Spotify is sending you ads or something, those ads don't go to me, that goes to Spotify. So feel free to find a way around those advertisements. Apple Podcasts does not have ads, and you might as well just listen on Patreon. Patreon has all the podcast episodes for free. If for some reason, by the way, you can't access it for free, the podcast specifically on Patreon, let me know, because that is an error. Okay. I guess that's all I got for you right now, little bunny. I think I'm going to head to bed. And then I will wake up tomorrow morning and I will write you a poem. Because you're worthy. And I love you. And it'll probably be a poem on the original topic. I hope this was useful. I enjoy spending this time with you. I don't want to let you go. I don't want to go to bed. I'm just out of stuff to talk about, really. It's a hard skill to just go. 3, 2, 1, talk. How about, what's a game we can play? Let's just play. It's downhill from here, little bunny. Oh, let me ask you this. Does the expression, it's all downhill from here, does that mean things are going to get worse from now? Or does that mean things are going to get easier from now on? If you imagine you're doing a bike ride and you're biking up the hill, it's uphill, it's uphill, it's uphill. And once you get to the top, it's all downhill from there. It's just easy and you just coast downhill. Or does downhill, it's like the graph of like quality of how things are going. And the arrow is just going like down, 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 down. It's all downhill from here. I don't know. What do you think? Something, I like the bicycle analogy. But yeah, I'll say the podcast is all downhill from here. So you can turn it off if you want. Little bunny. I like you. I'm fond of you. You're like, Daddy, this is hilarious and fun. I don't want to stay here forever. To which I say, get over here. Stay forever. I would love that. Also, I keep moving around. So check it out. All right, can I tell you audio nerd stuff? I'm using a microphone that is very directional, which means it picks up sound in a very particular direction. I just have it like pointed right at my face, you know? So check it out. Here's me pointing the microphone at my air conditioning unit. Yeah, and here's me pointing it away. And now 2, mostly just testing so I can see if you can hear that later on. What other audio nerd stuff can I tell you about, little bunny? You don't want to listen to this. I don't even know. Oh my God, it took me so long. So I mentioned that I was in an orchestra. I spent so much of my music years terrified of technology. Microphones that like plug in and have electricity and like records on a computer and software and blah. I just did not interface with music technology, sound technology. And at one point, I was like, you know what? It's time to not just be avoidant of the things, to not say, oh, I'm incapable of learning that technology. I'm incapable of learning that skill. You just gotta say, hold on. Let's just dive in and figure this out. Oh my God, we sextuple dipped, right? That's like 6. We sextupled dipped. We're going to have to put this behind the 18 to 800 age barrier now. Once we're sextuple dipping. Maybe that's going to be a spicy audio. The sextuple dip. Okay. I think that's a sign that we should go to bed now, right? Sextuple dip. Right? What is that? No, we got to explore this. It's okay. We have an explicit tag now on the podcast, so we can at least explore what a sextuple dip is. I don't know if I wanted to do that on the podcast, though. How about you come up with what that is? And we're going to tie it all together. That's going to be your first short story, okay? The sextuple dip. That's your prompt. And the story will be about how you wanted to engage in a sextuple dip with someone and you got rejected, okay? Or your main character got rejected. And they deal with it by just taking the rejection and setting it down in that day. And the emotions are real, but you just set it down. And then your character, we got rejected from the sextuple dip. Day after day after day, it gets easier and easier and easier. And then they find the sextuple dive with the person that they had not even noticed because they were busy getting rejected from the other person, okay? Are we tying it all together? How many dips do we have in here? Is this enough dip? I think we have dipped enough in this episode, little bunny. I think we are dip saturated. So I'm going to get to bed. I greatly apologize for this episode, but I love you. And the fact that you are so easy on me when I provide you with this kind of content. Okay, quality content. I am the greatest content creator ever, and I have never been rejected. And you are so lucky to be here with me, little bunny. You know who's even more lucky? Me, to be here with you. Thank you for being here, for making this so much fun, for giving me a smile every time I sit down to be with you. And guess what? We are just getting started. That was the last dip, is that we're just getting started, meaning you and I together are making something that will cascade into the future and get bigger and bigger and better and better. Okay? I love you. I will talk to you in just a second tomorrow morning. Good morning, little bunny. I slept very well. Thank you for asking. I've got a really nice poem for you today. It goes like this. When a loved one abruptly departs, and that pain weighs heavy on your heart, let that burden live fully today. Then with patience, Let time wash it away. All right, little bunny. Have a great, great week. I love you. I love you.